Freshman year of high school, got into 2 fights that year while I was actually in school. After I was out of school, I had other fights, but while I was in school, I got into 2 fights that year, right? First one was with this kid named Ian, right? He was a white boy, maybe 5'5", skinny, kind of looked like Eminem in the face, but like he had like light brown hair and some acne and shit, right? And we played football together, right? And he was like one of those like wannabe pretty boys, but like wasn't like very handsome. But his mom had a little bit of money, so he wore like the Creative Rex and the shit that you get from like Nordstrom Rack, right? And I don't remember what I said, but I remember like at lunchtime I was talking shit about him to somebody, and you talk shit to somebody, it gets back to him, right? So he ran up on me after school, and ran up and was like, "Yo, what's up? I heard you was talking shit, right?" And we go back and forth for a minute, get into a little pushing match, and then he fires on me, and he takes off on me. I'm not gonna lie, 0 hits landed on my part, 0 fight game on my part, and he was there with like a bunch of dudes that we played football with, right? And so, I got, I'm not gonna say like beat up, because he, didn't like hit very hard, and I didn't even have like a black eye or nothing, but like, I basically got punked in front of everybody that I played football with, right? So that happened, and I go about, the rest of the school year, but, for some reason when that happened, it like turned a screw in my head, you know what I mean? Where I was like, fuck, bro, that shit can't ever happen again, right? That happened probably November, December, like right after football ended, right? Fast forward rest of the school year to, it'd be late March, early April, right? Springtime, right? Just when it was starting to like get warm out a little bit. There was this kid that I had went the previous school year with, to the 8th grade with, right? His name was Chuck. Big old fat boy, right? 6'1", 270 maybe, in 8th grade, 9th grade, right? He was a big fat kid, right? Liked to throw his weight around, and throughout the last school year, he would do dumb shit like, kick me in my ass, or kind of shoulder check me, or like, grab my backpack and pull it, take my hat off my head, just little dumb middle school shit, right? But I didn't like him. And so, he had went to another school for like the first half of freshman year, so I didn't see him for the first half of the year. And then came to Grant, where I was at, in like the last half of the school year, right? And I remember thinking like, man, if this dude tries any of that dumb shit when, he fucking sees me, like I can't put up with it, right? And like I said, that little fight that I had with the dude Ian before just kind of like turned a screw in my head. So I was like, I can't ever like get punked like that again, right? So fast forward a couple weeks, doesn't really do much, a little slick shit out of his mouth and whatnot. And then I don't remember if I had just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, if I had fucking, I don't know what it was, man, but just one day, right before lunchtime, hanging out with this dude that I used to hang out with at school. I don't even remember his name. And I was like, fuck it, man. I'm gonna beat this motherfucker's ass, right? So I tell him, I go tell a couple other dudes, like, yo, come with me, I'm about to go fucking fuck this dude up, right? So we're walking, I'm trying to like find him. I talked to a couple people, find out where he's at, right? And someone said he's out like by the swimming pool, right? Which is behind the gymnasium. So I, go out that way, and I don't know if I knew this or if I didn't know it, but like he had been smoking weed like behind the gymnasium during lunchtime, right? And so, you know, when you're high as fuck, your reflexes are gone. You like there ain't no fighting when you're fucking like as stoned as this kid was, right? Which is good for me because you know he's got like over 100 pounds on me, right? So I run up on him and I'm like, "Yo, what's up, bitch?" Right? And I'm like, "Let's run this, right?" And you know, so I start swinging on him, right? And you know, I'm hitting him, right? You know, and I kind of dipped back and caught him a little bit, and then fucking slipped under and fucking caught him, and then just grabbed his shirt and just bop, 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 right? Fuck this dude up. Nose was sitting a little bit sideways, both eyes black, cheek was all busted. I don't know if he had any cuts on him, right? But just fuck this dude up, right? That's when I saw him the next day. He had all that going on, right? So me and the dude I was with run around the other side of the building, you know, cut in the side door of the school, go in the boys' bathroom, right? And I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, shit, bro, I don't fucking have nothing on me. And for like a split second, I was like, hey, yo, man, punch me in the face so I at least look like I took some kind of damage, right? But I didn't have him do it. Should have, looking back, but I didn't, right? So that happened, I think it happened on a Friday, right? And I had gone home for the weekend, right? And then came back Monday, right? And Monday was my birthday, right? And so I come back, and it was my birthday. I just turned 15, right? So I come back to school, and first period, right? Security dude, old light-skinned brother named Charles, comes down to my classroom. He's like, you know, yo, man, need to see you in the office, right? So we go down there, walk in. There's a cop sitting there, and I'm like, fuck. Right? So there's a cop sitting there. The security dudes are in there, right? And they want to talk to me, you know. And I said more than I should have, just being dumb, right? But you know, I didn't like say, oh, this dude bullied me for fucking, you know, a whole year and a half, and he kicked me in my butt, and you know, and he shoulder checked me and whatnot. I just kind of was like, you know, pretty much just like, you know, do whatever you're gonna do, right? And they had found a video that someone had took on their phone, right? And you know, when they showed it to me, I was like, shit, bro, that does not look good, because it looks like the dude doesn't even want to fight, you know. So it was all bad, right? And so I get arrested. I go down to the detention center. I spend the day down at the detention center, and this shit literally turned my life upside down, right? Because freshman year was the last year that I like went to a full year of school, right? I had little bits and pieces after where I'd go to like alternative schools, or I was going to school at the detention center for a while, right? So school was done. There was no more school for me after that. Right after that, I started, you know, running with you know, dudes that were gangsters and shit. Started selling drugs, you know, started smoking a lot, you know, doing a little bit of coke here and there, drinking a lot, just getting into all types of shit, all types of fights, all types of, you know, just ripping and running, right? And it's weird how like shit like that can happen, where literally one day, right, something can happen and just completely change the course and the trajectory of your life, you know. And so it's like, and it's, I heard someone say once that like every 7 years you have an event that like changes your life. And so, you know, when I was about 7, the event that changed my life was my mother divorced from my brother's dad. When I was 14, going on 15, it was the story I just told you, right? When I was 21, it was, you know, finding out that I was going to be a dad, and, you know, my daughter being born. And then, you know, I've got about, you know, something major is gonna happen this year that's gonna change my life somehow. Don't know if it's gonna be good, don't know if it's gonna be bad, but you know, I want to see what it's gonna be. So, you know, just thought I'd throw that out there for you. You know, little story. Peace.